So today I'm taking you guys out of my kitchen. I'm taking you guys to a trip to Romania for 72 hours. So first we landed there very late in the evening. We landed in Bucharest, and because it was already very late, we decided just to stay at the hotel and chill because the next morning we had a very busy day. We booked a day trip to visit the castles in Transylvania and the city of Brasovia, and it was very early in the morning, so at 7 a.m. we had to be already inside of our tour bus. We headed straight to the Paso Castle, which is about 2 hours from Bucharest. The trip was very nice to there. We had a very nice view from the city and the countryside, as you guys can see. And when we arrived there, the place that the castle is located is a very cute area. The architecture, the buildings, the view of the forest, everything super cute. We made a quick stop to grab a coffee, and as I'm not a big fan of coffees, I decided to try their warm apple juice. And it was very interesting. It felt like a warm hug, perfectly sweet and warm enough because it was very cold out there. We went during winter time, and we were actually lucky to had a warm week, but it's still very cold. And unfortunately, they were fixing the castle, so we were not able to visit inside, just the outside, but was already very beautiful. They had like this very nice statues, the queen and everything. We heard a little bit about the story of this castle, which is amazing. Many thousand years ago, they went to a war, and then they built this castle, which was one of the most expensive of all times, and was everything super beautiful. After the quick visit to the castle, we headed to the city of Brasov. That's how they say it. Writes Brasov, but it says Brasov. And it took us more or less 40 minutes to arrive. We had 2-3 hours there to meet the main points of the city, and then we decided to first stop in the main square to have a quick lunch. We ordered beers and the buckthorn juice, which I've never tried before, and was a very interesting flavor. Was a little bit tart, citrusy with a touch of tropical fruits. Was very delicious, and we decided to order also a beef stew alongside with some cabbage salad and their cabbage meat polenta dish. This cabbage meat polenta dish is actually called sarmale and is a very traditional dish from Romania, especially from this area. It was delicious, very filling and warm. It was really good. We had a little bit of trouble to pay the bills. They took a while. We ended up staying a little bit over 1 hour at the restaurant, so more than we were expected to stay. But that's fine. The city was very small, so we could still be able to visit their main points, which was the old church, a view from the city, a walk around in the shopping area, and then finally it was already time to head to the famous Dracula Castle. And the Dracula Castle, it's not called Dracula Castle. It's actually called Brunch Castle, and it was owned by this famous guy. It was the Lord, and he had a few stories about the castle that were dark. This is not, well, it's hard to say if this is the truth or not. Actually, the name of the Dracula Castle, that is not the real name, okay guys? Dracula Castle is just how we know, but it's a medieval fortress located near the city of Brasov in the area of Transylvania. So it's not located in Bucharest. It's 3 hours from Bucharest. It's not that close. The Brunch Castle was originally built in 1377 by the Saxons of Kronstadt after the King Louis I of Hungary and granted them permission to build a stone fortress on the site. The purpose was to defend the strategically important mountain pass against invading forces and to protect the trade route between Transylvania and Wallachia. And after all of that, on the 20th century, after the World War II, the communist regime seized the castle and it became a museum. It was returned to the heirs of the Romanian royal family in the early 2000s, especially to the Dominican von Habsburg, Queen Mary grandson. And the famous legend of Dracula in the Brunch Castle is associated with this guy called Vlad Tepes, also known as Vlad the Impaler, and this guy was a 15th century prince of Wallachia who was also known of his brutal methods of punishment. He may have passed through Brunch and may have been imprisoned there briefly, but there is no solid evidence he lived in the castle. So it's basically just a legend. I'm sorry to tell you guys, but this is the truth. But the link between the Brunch Castle and the Count Dracula comes from Bram Stoker's 1897 novel Dracula. While Stoker never visited Romania, he described Dracula's castle in a way that vaguely resembled Bram Castle. Because of this and the spooky, dramatic appearance of the castle, it has been always associated with Dracula in a popular culture. But this is all the legend, this never happened. This day trip was long and very worth to do. I highly recommend you guys to do that, especially because you're gonna learn so much about the country, their castles, the kings, their history and everything else besides visiting those main points. So we arrived back to Bucharest around 7 p.m. and we were absolutely starving. We went straight to our hotel, took some shower, and then we head to this famous restaurant, Kaduk. I don't know if I'm pronouncing correctly, but it was a very good recommendation of traditional Romanian restaurant. It was very nice. We arrived there. We first got a super fluffy bread with some olive oil, a beer, and a strawberry lemonade because I love it. But once we were finally ordering, they told us that we had to wait 50 minutes to get our dishes. It was a long wait. It was a little bit tiring. The restaurant was packed, super busy, but that's alright. We waited there patiently, and then first we got this dish. So we ordered 2 dishes. This one was national pork knuckle, which was a very slowly roasted pork knuckle with braised sour cabbage, polenta, horseradish, and a chili pepper, which I don't know it was there. I don't even know if people actually eat there or if it's just for flavor. And the other dish was the glazed pork ribs in beer sauce and pork tenderloin flavored with butter and aromatic herb. Was also served with some mashed potatoes, greens and garlic, blanched vegetables flavored with some butter and garlic. The sides were a bit bland for us, but the meat itself was absolutely delicious. Was also a very heavy meal and was already very late in the evening. We were super tired, but it was not possible to sleep after that. So we went for a walk around the city and then head back to our hotel and rest for the next morning. For the next morning, we went straight to the Van Gogh Cafe to have a brunch. The decoration was super nice, beautiful, but I must tell you guys that this was a tourist trap. That's what we felt, at least. So the food was super expensive for the city standards and was pretty much ordinary. I first ordered a Romanian juice and it had no flavor at all. It was super bland, really disappointing. After that, we both ordered French toast. It arrived very fast, looked super beautiful on the outside, lots of fruits and yogurt and honey and also some blueberry jam, but it was super dry. It was a very ordinary meal and absolutely expensive. I think we never paid this amount of money for a single coffee. It was in euros, 7 euros for a flat white. This was a completely ripoff. Even though the food was bad, the service was actually very good if you compare it to other places. They were very smiley, helpful and gentle, whereas in the other places that we went, they were very serious. They wouldn't really go to your table. Was not really the best service experience we had in the city. Above that, and I can't even understand how they had such good reviews, to be honest with you. But if you're looking for good service and ordinary food, that's okay. I think I can give 7 out of 10 to this place. I would recommend if you are not really interested in knowing the food and the culture of the place, because this is a very regular ordinary brunch place, overpriced, that you can have anywhere in the world. We ended up spending around 50 euros for the brunch and regretful 50 euros, to be honest. After the disappointing brunch that we had, we went for a little walk around the city center to discover a few more things about this area. And then we were already starving again, ready for lunch. And we found out this amazing Greek restaurant. And for you who don't know yet, Romania is super near Greece and they have a big influence on the Greek food. So you can find lots of Greek restaurants over there. And I must tell you guys that this was a big surprise. We were not expecting to eat so well with good prices, good service, and incredible quality food. So there we decided to have a proper feast, a proper Greek feast in Romania. So we ordered first some fried feta in filo pastry with some honey over it, some baked feta with tomatoes. It was absolutely delicious. We also ordered a gyros plate that had some potatoes, pita bread, tomatoes, red onions, and 2 types of meat. That was our choice. So we got chicken and pork. It was delicious, both meats. We also got a side of tzatziki to eat with more pita bread, fried courgette, and more pita bread. Was everything absolutely delicious and super worth. We also had a dessert. There was, I cannot remember the name exactly right now, but it was baked yogurt with filo pastry and honey over that. It was tasty, but not really my type of dessert, but it was worth it. And the bill came, and was everything right? Was a price that is a little bit expensive for the city, but we didn't feel like a ripoff. We spent 263 lei, which in euro is around 50 euros. So for 2 people was actually pretty good, and for the amount of food that we had, nothing to complain about. After our amazing and filling and healthy lunch, we headed to the Arc de Triomphe, and it took us 40 minutes to arrive there by bus. It was a big traffic jam, but luckily the public transport in there was quite cheap, so we spent around €1.50 by trip every time we took the bus. So after checking on the Arc de Triomphe, we went to this park called Heresto Park. I can't pronounce, it's really hard, but it was a very, very beautiful park, and because it was during winter, it was very wintry, dark, and beautiful. I can only imagine how it looks like during summertime. It was super worth the visit. We had a little walk around the park, and after that we took the metro and we went back to the city center to grab a little lunch and to visit the supermarkets in there, because supermarket is also part of the cultural visit that you have to do whenever you travel. It's something that I highly recommend everybody to do. You can know a lot of stuff about the culture of the place that you are visiting, besides of discovering new food that you have never seen before. Unfortunately, we were not able to find a big supermarket, but that's okay. We were still able to discover new things, and one of my favorite things that we discovered there is this drink that is actually not from there, but they drink it a lot in there. It's called ayran. So it's a savory yogurt drink, and it was absolutely delicious. If you guys want to learn how to make it, let me know, because I can teach you. And on the same avenue that we found our supermarket, we kept walking and we finally saw the famous Palace of Parliament, which is one of the main tourist spots in there to visit. Tell me how incredible it looks. It's just whoa. We were absolutely mesmerized. What an amazing, incredible construction. We didn't go inside because it was a little bit too expensive for us. It was around 20-30 euros to go inside. So we left this for maybe another visit. Who knows? We might go back there. After this, we decided to visit a rooftop bar that was also very nice and had good reviews on Google. And was also an ordinary Wednesday in Bucharest, so most of places were very empty. And then we were also not that hungry to go again to another restaurant, so we just decided to stay in this rooftop bar. We ordered a fried chicken burger with a side of roasted potato, and I also stole a bit of my partner's fries. I also ordered this Mai Tai cocktail, and this one was not the best one, even though it was looking super beautiful, was a little bit too bitter for me. It was not the best Mai Tai that I ever tasted, but okay, was still worth the visit. The ambience was very beautiful, was quite empty like every other place, was during winter time, Wednesday evening, so not really high expectations, but I would say so that during summertime the city gets very busy on weekdays, and you can enjoy a lot more the other places that they have around this area. And after this long day, we had a proper rest, and then we were ready for our last day in the city. So we started the day heading to the famous Auburn Market, which we didn't know wasn't a very touristic spot. The place was a little bit far from the city center. It was also in, it looked to me at least, a sketchy area. everything very old and destroyed, and we were definitely looking like tourists. People wouldn't stop staring at us. And then when we finally found the Auburn Market, they had first this part outside, wasn't very inviting. So then we found the Auburn Market, and the outside they had a little bit of like plants and clothes and things like that to sell. And then we got inside of the first part of the market, and then over there they had lots of dairy products, lots of types of fresh cheese, nuts, different types of dry meat, a Romanian type of salt that I've never heard before. And then we got to the fish area, and to be honest with you guys, was a little bit of a shock to see the fishes in that condition, the carpers that they eat a lot over there, and was a little bit weird to see the fishes in that tiny space, is still alive with very little water. It felt a little bit not much human to me, but if any of you knows why they do that, please just let me know, because I couldn't find out. People there, they didn't speak English, and they felt a little bit weird of me asking those questions to them. We were actually shouted a few times that we were not able to record anything in the area, but that's okay. The place wasn't also the cleanest, a lot of water on the floor, you could see a lot of dirt around. The vendors, they were not inviting at all. And then we left this first building, and then we found out there was actually a second building that you would feel much more inviting. Was a lot cleaner, a very tidy environment, but we were already out of time because we were going to finally the famous and also our favorite spot in the city, the Bucharest Thermas. It took us a very long time to get there. We had to take 2 buses. So the Thermes is close to the airport. If you're going there, maybe I would recommend you guys to grab a taxi or Uber to go there, rather as like the way we did. We decided to take buses, and we took 2 buses. The first bus was fast and easy, but the second bus almost never arrived. Took us 40 minutes. We were waiting for about 40 minutes for the bus, and when the bus finally arrived, wasn't actually the right bus to the Thermes, and we had to walk more 20 minutes with our bag to the Thermes. So it was not the best experience to arrive there, but anyways, the Thermes itself was an incredible experience. The price super affordable. To stay there for 4 hours and a half, we spent around 40 euros each. The food inside, you could have cheap options, medium options, and expensive options, so you could find food for every single type of pocket. So we actually got the full package for 4 hours and a half over there, which cost us around 40 euros per person. The full package is much more worth than the other ones that they give to you, that you were able to buy. And they had several swimming pools, saunas, and even a water park. Especially for kids, the area was absolutely incredible. And at the pool, they also had a bar with great priced cocktails, which also made me think if I was in a swimming pool on a blend of chlorine, alcohol, and pee. But better not to think about it. So we enjoy a lot our 4 hours and a half in that amazing place, and this was how we finished our 72 hours in Bucharest. that's it, guys. I highly recommend this trip. It was an amazing experience, really good to get to know a new country that I've never been before, different culture, and different foods and everything else. So that's it. And stay tuned for my next trip that I will also post over here. And thanks a lot, guys. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you have any questions or anything to add on, please leave a comment. And that's it. See you next. Bye.